then you will be incapable, because you have been programmed. You'll be incapable of looking at things actually as they are. So can we look together? Because the speaker doesn't belong to any organization, to any group, to any particular religion, no nationality, etc., etc. It's only then you can observe. If you have learnt a great deal, accumulated a great deal of knowledge from books, from experience and so on, your mind has already been filled. Your brain is crowded with your experience, with your particular tendency and so on, which is all that is going to prevent you from looking. Can we be free of all that to look? To look at what is happening actually in the world. That is the criteria. The terror, all that. The terrible religious sectarian divisions. One guru opposed to another idiotic guru. Vanity behind all that. The power, the position, the wealth of these gurus is appalling. Now, look at it. In the same way, to be free to look at what we have been, to what we have been programmed. If you are an engineer, you have spent years and years and years learning all the implications of being an engineer. That's part of your consciousness. If you have followed a certain guru, that's part of your consciousness. That's part of your being programmed as a Catholic, and so on, so on, so on. Can you look at yourself not as a separate human being, but a human being that is actually the rest of mankind? To have such a feeling means that you have tremendous love for human beings. Then, when we're able to see clearly, without any distortion, then we begin to inquire the nature of consciousness, not only the professional and all the rest of the group, but also much deeper layers of consciousness. We have to inquire the whole movement of thought. Because thought is responsible for all the content of consciousness. Whether it is deeper layers of consciousness or the superficial layers, all the content, the professional, the group, the particular religious program, All that is the movement of thought. Right? If you had no thought, there would be no fear, no sense of pleasure, no time, no thought is responsible. Right? Not only responsible for the beauty of a marvelous cathedral, thought is also responsible for all the nonsense that is inside the cathedral. All the great paintings, the poems, the music, all that is the activity of thought, perceiving the sound, hearing the marvelous sound and transmitting it on paper. That is the movement of thought. The poet imagining like Keats and putting into words the many odes of, the marvelous odes of Keats. And thought is responsible for all the gods in the world, all the saviors, all the gurus and all the obedience following. The whole works is the result of thought, which may be turned into pleasure, gratification, escape from loneliness, and all that. Thought is the common factor of all mankind. The poorest villager in India or in the Asiatic world thinks as the businessman, the chief executive thinks, as the religious head thinks. That's a common, everyday fact. That's the ground on which all human beings stand. You cannot escape from that. And we have to find out whether thought not only has brought about great things in the world, like surgery, communication, satellites, what technologically it has done in the world. And also thought has been responsible for the division of man. The American, the Russian, the English, the French, the Swiss, the Muslim. Thought has been responsible for the division of man. Thought has been responsible for the division of all religions. Right? Obviously. If there was no thought, there would be no religions as organized now. Baptism, all that stuff. So thought has done marvelous things to help man, but also thought has brought about great destruction.